Well, I said I was going to take a break and I intended for it to be 2 or 3 weeks, but it hasn't really happened that way. So I'm back at work today after just 1 week off. And whilst it was nice to go away, the phone was ringing off the hook. First thing I want to say is thank you to the overwhelming thousands of people who've been in touch via my website and elsewhere, offering support, offering ideas, and sharing, interestingly, their own experiences with the bank. So thank you to all of you. I'm answering everyone. I'm up to July the 1st at the moment, but I promise I'll keep going. What transpired last week I thought was pretty extraordinary. I kept on waiting for replies back from banks. It's now 9 UK clearing banks that have rejected me. So I'm beginning to think there is no hope of getting a full UK clearing bank to give me an account. This, of course, is all because of PEP rules, politically exposed persons. And as with everything, of course, this is down to discretion. But the banks, because I've blown the whistle on what's going on, are running a complete mile from me. What has been good to see is that my case has exposed many members of the House of Lords and others who've had even grandchildren refused accounts. We've learned that Jeremy Hunt, the Chancellor, was refused an account by Monzo. The difference between all of those people and me, and I'm aiming this comment at the London sneerocracy, who said, oh, well, he's got an account at Coutts. He'll just have to have a normal bank account like all the rest of us. No, here's the point. The difference between me and the others is that they managed to find banking alternatives. I cannot. I was pretty shocked. I hadn't named Coutts myself, but I was pretty shocked when they briefed the BBC and said that I'd fallen below their limit of £1 million on current account. Quite why a bank thinks ethically or legally they can discuss anything about my financial affairs with the BBC and a wider audience is totally and utterly beyond me, and I am taking advice on that as we speak. But it led to a flood of people saying, hang on, we've got accounts at Coutts, we've got nothing like that amount of money there. And even Simon Jack, the BBC correspondent who broke the story, did put out a tweet saying, hey, you know what? It seems to me that this £1 million limit is pretty arbitrary stuff. So I was pretty unhappy with the way in which they behaved. Politically exposed persons, yes, of course we want to stop, African dictators or whoever it may be, laundering tens of millions of pounds. There is not a single case of a British politician or anybody in their family being caught for laundering money. Fiddling expenses, yes, all sorts of things that shouldn't happen, but not money laundering. All of this has happened because, of course, of an EU directive, which was brought into British law, and 7 years on from the referendum, nothing has been done about it. We're now told by the government they are going to draw a distinction between foreign PEPs and domestic PEPs, and that should happen sometime next year, which isn't really much use to me. Of wider interest is what that email box has shown me. The number of small businesses who have been closed down over the course of the last couple of years. And they've got one thing in common. Everything from the local window cleaner to pawnbrokers, anybody involved in cash businesses have been losing accounts because they're suspected of being money launderers. The whole thing is outrageous. And they just get a letter saying, we're closing your account. Most of them, I'm pleased to say, have managed to find alternatives. There are one or two out there that have been in touch with me that are genuinely struggling. So the law needs to be revised, not just for high-profile public figures who are PEPs, but actually for everybody, for ordinary men and women out there running their own businesses, trying to do their best. They are being penalised in the most extraordinary way. And this campaign needs to go on and on. And I'm very pleased that GB News have launched the Don't Kill Cash campaign, because tell you what, the ultimate fear is if we get CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, we could finish up like the Canadian truckers, people who were within the law, found themselves outside the law and had their bank accounts frozen. Controlling people's money would be the ultimate form of tyranny. Now, I've done a lot more digging and a lot more work. I've put in things called subject access requests to all the international agencies that the banks go to. And I'm going to reveal tonight, when I'm back on air at 7 o'clock, live on GB News, what this has revealed, and to show that the arm of the European Union is a bit longer than I thought it was. If you can, join me at 7 tonight on GB News.